All right, think bright lights, high stakes, the thrill of the casino, and you in the pit boss chair.
That's right. We're diving deep into the role of casino pit boss with RoleCatcher's Insights as our guide.
We're going to help you prep for that interview.
So you can walk in with confidence and really knock 'em dead.
So first things first, let's break down what a casino pit boss actually does.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool, but what are we really talking about here?
The RoleCatcher Career Guide says they're like the eyes and ears of the whole casino floor.
It's a fast-paced world, and the pit boss is right in the middle of it all.
They're overseeing everything, making sure the games run smoothly, managing dealers, handling any issues that pop up.
Oh, and let's not forget, keeping a close eye on those profits. That's a big one.
And they're dealing with every kind of game you can imagine. Card games, slots, you name it, it's under their watch.
Talk about a high-pressure gig. But it's not just about keeping things organized. It's about understanding how to make that money.
Right, they have a direct impact on how much each player spends, making sure the casino hits its targets.
That's where those business smarts come in.
And speaking of business smarts, the Career Guide also maps out the typical path to becoming a pit boss.
So how do you even get there?
Well, you might start as a dealer, then work your way up to supervisor, then shift manager, and finally, the pit boss.
Each step adds to your expertise.
It's like climbing that casino ladder, rung by rung.
Interviewers are going to be looking for that experience. They want to see that dedication to the industry.
So let's say you've got the experience, you've paid your dues, and you're ready for that pit boss interview. What skills should you be highlighting?
The RoleCatcher Interview Guide has some great tips on this.
It's not just about listing those skills, though, right?
No, it's about showing, not just telling.
Give me an example.
Well, they mention coordination, monitoring, critical thinking, all important, of course.
But persuasion really stood out to me. I mean, you're practically influencing people to spend money, ethically, of course.
Right, but it's not about being pushy. It's about creating an environment where people want to play, making it fun and exciting.
So a great pit boss knows how to create that winning atmosphere.
Exactly. Making sure everyone has a great experience, even if they're not walking away with a jackpot.
Okay, are you ready to tackle some actual interview questions?
Bring it on. Let's break these down.
Let's get into the nitty-gritty.
I am ready.
All right, first up, a classic. Can you tell us about your experience working in a casino environment? Sounds simple enough, but what's the interviewer really trying to find out here?
I think they want to hear about your passion for this unique world.
More than just checking off a box on the application.
Yeah, they want to know if you really get it, the fast pace, the demands, how you've handled those high-pressure moments.
So don't just regurgitate your resume.
Exactly. Share specific stories, situations that show off your skills.
Like what?
Did you ever have to deal with a difficult player? Did you streamline a process that made the floor run smoother? Those are the kind of stories that make you stand out.
The interview guide sample response talks about handling a high roller who wasn't following betting limits.
That's a good one.
It highlights staying calm under pressure, enforcing those rules, and ultimately protecting the casino.
And ensuring fairness for all the other players, too, that's important.
So it's about turning a potentially negative situation into a positive example of your skills.
Exactly.
Now think about your own experience. What challenging situations have you faced in a casino, and how did you handle them?
What moments come to mind for you?
Okay, next question. How do you handle conflicts between customers or even customers and employees?
Oh, I can only imagine the disagreements that must happen on a casino floor.
Things can get heated, especially when money's involved.
For sure.
So what are they looking for here? What's the ideal answer?
I think they want to see if you can stay cool under pressure, if you can be that voice of reason in the middle of a storm.
So are you the master mediator?
Right. Can you listen to both sides, find a solution that works for everyone, and make sure you're still following casino policies?
Sounds like a delicate balance.
It is. And again, real-life examples are your best friend here.
Walk me through it.
Describe a situation where you de-escalated a conflict, how you found that middle ground.
Did you ever deal with a customer accusing a dealer of cheating or two players arguing over a hand?
Those are the kinds of scenarios they want to hear about.
Makes sense.
The sample response in the interview guide actually talks about a conflict between two players claiming the same poker pot.
Oh, that's a tough one.
It emphasizes staying neutral, reviewing security footage, getting the facts straight, and then explaining the decision clearly to both parties.
Evidence-based decision-making, that's crucial in this role.
Absolutely. And don't forget clear communication. No one wants to be left in the dark.
So think back to your own experiences. What strategies did you use to ensure a fair outcome in a conflict? And how did you communicate that effectively?
What worked for you?
All right, on to question number 3. Can you explain your knowledge of casino games and regulations?
Time to show off that casino expertise.
This is where you prove you know your stuff.
They want to know if you've got that deep understanding of the games. Blackjack, poker, roulette, the whole shebang.
And not just the games, but the rules and regulations that keep everything running smoothly.
Right. Are you up to date on the latest regulations? Do you understand how they impact the day-to-day operations?
The interview guide really stresses the importance of being specific here.
Don't just say, I know the games, right?
Exactly. Talk about those rules, betting structures, different strategies involved in each game.
And don't forget to mention those regulations, even the seemingly minor ones.
It shows you take compliance seriously, you understand the legal side of this world.
Absolutely.
Their sample response talks about a player exceeding the table limit,
Oh, yeah, that happens.
and the candidate politely informed them, even offered to find a table with a higher limit that better suited their style.
It's all about finding solutions, not just saying no.
So what game knowledge are you most comfortable discussing? Any interesting regulations you've come across that really highlight your expertise?
What would you focus on?
All right, next up. How do you ensure the safety and security of customers and employees in the casino? Now, this goes beyond just preventing theft, right?
It's about creating a secure environment where everyone feels safe and comfortable, customers and employees alike.
It's about being vigilant, assessing risks, spotting potential problems before they even escalate.
Absolutely. Think about monitoring those surveillance systems, controlling crowds during busy times, or training staff to recognize any suspicious activity.
You got to be on your toes.
The sample response in the interview guide talks about a player becoming increasingly agitated.
Oh, that's a tricky situation.
It is, but the candidate noticed, alerted security discreetly, and made sure the situation was handled calmly and professionally.
No drama, no disruptions.
Exactly. It's about being proactive, but also maintaining that smooth experience for everyone else.
So think about your own experiences. Have you ever dealt with a security issue in a casino? And how did you approach it?
What strategies did you use to keep everyone safe?
Okay, on to question 5. Can you explain your experience with managing a team of employees? We're talking about the people side of being a pit boss.
It's not just about the games. It's about leading people, motivating them, making sure they're performing at their best.
It's about building a team that works together seamlessly, even under pressure.
Exactly. And this question is all about your leadership style.
How do you delegate tasks, provide feedback, and address any performance issues that might come up?
The guide suggests highlighting situations where you've done just that, focusing on those positive outcomes.
Did your leadership improve performance? Did it boost morale? Did it create a better experience for the customers?
Those are the kind of results that impress interviewers.
Their example mentions a dealer who was consistently making errors.
Oh, that's never good.
But instead of just reprimanding, the candidate dug deeper, offered extra training, and actually helped the dealer improve.
It's a win-win situation.
It shows that you care about your team, you want to see them succeed.
Absolutely. A supportive and proactive approach is always better than just being punitive.
So think about your own leadership experiences. What challenges did you face managing a team, and what strategies did you use to overcome them?
How did you bring out the best in your team?
Now let's move on to a question that really tests your understanding of the casino business.
Yeah.
How do you ensure that the casino is profitable and operating efficiently?
This one's all about seeing the bigger picture.
It's not just about counting chips anymore, right?
Right, it's about understanding how all the pieces fit together.
So what kind of insights would really impress an interviewer here?
Well, imagine you spot a trend that could be impacting profits. Maybe a particular game is underperforming.
Or there are staffing issues causing delays, impacting customer satisfaction.
Exactly. It's about being proactive, finding areas for improvement, and coming up with solutions that boost the casino's bottom line.
You're wearing that business hat now?
It's all about the business savvy.
And don't be afraid to get specific. Did you analyze data and make a change that increased revenue?
Or did you implement a new procedure that streamlined operations and saved the casino money?
Those are the kinds of stories that show you're thinking strategically.
The guide actually gives an example of a candidate who noticed a specific slot machine was always empty.
Interesting.
Turns out it was tucked away in a low-traffic area. They suggested moving it to a more prominent spot.
Smart move.
And the machine started generating way more revenue. Simple, but effective.
It shows you're thinking critically about how every element contributes to the casino's success,
It's those little things that make a big
like
difference.
those real-time decisions a pit boss makes, like opening another blackjack table when it's crowded, or adjusting those betting limits to cater to those high rollers.
Yeah, exactly. You're always adapting, always looking for ways to maximize profits.
Now, let's turn the tables on you, our listeners.
Yeah.
Have you ever spotted an opportunity to improve efficiency or profitability in a casino? How did you approach it, and what was the outcome?
What's your story?
Now, onto a question that's crucial for any pit boss. How do you handle difficult or upset customers?
Oh boy, this is a big one.
Let's be real, emotions can run high in a casino, especially when people are losing money.
The stakes are high, and people don't always react well to losing.
You need to stay calm, cool, and collected, even when someone is yelling, blaming, or just having a meltdown.
It's about being a pro, no matter what the situation throws at you.
So what's the interviewer really looking for here?
They're assessing your ability to de-escalate, to remain empathetic, and still find a solution that works for both the customer and the casino.
So it's about protecting the casino's interests without alienating those customers.
You got to find that balance.
Easier said than done, I'm sure.
It takes practice, but the interview guide suggests highlighting situations where you turned a negative interaction into a positive one.
Give me an example.
Did you ever have to calm down a player who was on a losing streak? Did you resolve a payout dispute fairly, leaving everyone feeling heard and respected?
Those are the kinds of stories that show you can handle the heat.
The guide actually provides an example of a player who was convinced a roulette wheel was rigged because they kept losing.
Oh, I've heard those theories before.
Instead of dismissing the player, the candidate calmly explained the concept of random chance, even offered a technician inspection to reassure them.
Talk about going above and beyond.
It's about transparency and understanding. Even if you can't change the outcome, you can influence how the player feels about the experience.
Makes sense. You want them to feel valued, even if they haven't won.
Exactly.
Now think about a time you had to deal with a difficult customer in a casino. What strategies did you use to diffuse the situation, and how did you maintain that all-important customer relationship?
What worked for you?
Speaking of high stakes, let's talk about cash handling, another crucial area for a pit boss.
Can you explain your experience with cash handling and accounting procedures? This question is a biggie.
In a casino where millions are changing hands daily, this is not something to take lightly.
Absolutely. It's all about meticulous attention to detail, integrity, and a proven track record of handling large sums responsibly.
Zero tolerance for errors when it comes to cash.
The interviewer wants to know you understand that you have a system, you follow procedures, and you double-check everything.
It's not just about being good at math, it's about being meticulous and accountable.
The guide mentions a candidate who found a discrepancy in a cash drawer.
Oh no, that's a pit boss's worst nightmare.
But instead of panicking, they meticulously reviewed the transactions, identified the error, and corrected it.
That's a story that builds confidence in an interviewer. It shows you're not afraid to take ownership, and you're committed to doing things by the book.
Those procedures are there for a reason, and you got to follow them to the letter.
Now think about your own experiences. Have you ever had to resolve a cash handling issue? What steps did you take to ensure accuracy and prevent any losses?
How did you handle the pressure?
Okay, our last question from the interview guide is all about staying on the right side of the law. How do you ensure that the casino is in compliance with all relevant regulations and laws?
This is about showing you understand the legal landscape and take compliance seriously.
It's a highly regulated industry, and you got to be on top of it all.
Think about age verification, responsible gaming practices, anti-money laundering procedures, knowing how to spot and report any suspicious activity.
It's not just about knowing the rules, it's about having the confidence to enforce them.
Even if it means turning away a customer or handling a difficult situation.
It's about protecting the casino, the players, and your own reputation.
The interview guide offers an example of a candidate who spotted underage individuals trying to sneak onto the casino floor.
Oh, that's a tough one, especially when they might have fake IDs.
It is, but the candidate intervened, explained the rules, checked IDs, and prevented them from accessing those gaming areas.
It's a great example of enforcing regulations without being confrontational or creating a negative experience.
Finding that balance between firmness and fairness is key.
So think about a situation where you had to enforce a casino regulation or policy. How did you approach it?
What was your strategy?
Now, we've covered a lot of ground here, and these interview questions really highlight the diverse skills a casino pit boss needs.
It's a demanding role, but it's also incredibly exciting. You're at the heart of the action.
But let's be real. Landing this job isn't a walk in the park. The competition is fierce.
And these days, you're not just competing against other people, you're also up against those automated recruiter bots.
Oh, those bots. They can be ruthless.
They scan resumes for specific keywords and skills. If your application doesn't stand out, you might not even get a chance to showcase your personality and experience.
So how can you make sure you stand out from the crowd, both to the bots and those human recruiters?
That's where RoleCatcher's AI features come in. It's like having a secret weapon in your job search arsenal.
I'm all ears. Tell me more about this AI magic.
Think of it as a personal resume optimizer and interview coach, all in one.
Sounds pretty impressive.
It analyzes job descriptions, pinpointing those key skills and keywords that employers are looking for.
So it's about speaking the bot's language.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just the resume. RoleCatcher's AI also provides feedback on your practice interview answers.
Now that's interesting.
You record yourself answering those tough questions we just discussed, and the AI analyzes your responses, offering suggestions for improvement.
It's like having a 24/7 interview coach in your pocket.
Precisely. It helps you identify areas where you can strengthen your answers and really nail those key points.
So you can tailor your practice sessions to the specific job you're applying for.
Exactly. It focuses on the most important skills and experiences for that particular role, so you can make the best possible impression.
This is incredibly valuable, especially for a role like Casino Pit Boss, where the competition is so intense.
It can give you that extra edge you need to stand out from the crowd.
So in addition to all the interview insights we've discussed, RoleCatcher's AI can really boost your chances of landing that Casino Pit Boss job.
It's like having a team of experts in your corner, helping you every step of the way.
But even with all the preparation in the world, there's one thing you can't fake in an interview: passion.
Absolutely. You need to genuinely love the casino world, the energy, the excitement, the challenges that come with it.
So why do you want to be a casino pit boss? What excites you about this role? Think about it.
Let that passion shine through.
And speaking of passion, there's something else to consider when preparing for this interview.
What's that?
It's not just about the job itself, it's about finding the right fit.
You mean matching your skills to the job requirements?
That's part of it. But I'm talking about something a bit more intangible: the casino's culture.
Every casino has its own unique vibe.
Some are all about high-stakes glamour, while others focus on casual fun and entertainment.
Exactly. And as a pit boss, you'll be immersed in that culture every day, so it's important to find a place where you feel comfortable and can thrive.
So how do you figure out what kind of casino culture is right for you?
Research is key. Explore casino websites, read reviews, talk to people in the industry.
Get a feel for the vibe and see if it resonates with you.
The interview guide also suggests paying attention to the details during the interview itself.
Like what?
The way the interviewer interacts with you, the questions they ask, the overall tone, these can all provide valuable insights into the casino's culture.
It's like reading between the lines.
Exactly. Are they all business? Or do they value fun and camaraderie? Do they prioritize customer service, or are they more focused on efficiency and profits?
Those subtle cues can tell you a lot about what it's really like to work there.
So it's not just about impressing the interviewer, it's also about gathering information and making sure it's a place where you can see yourself succeeding.
Because when you find the right fit, it's not just a job, it's a career.
Absolutely.
Now, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about those tricky behavioral questions that often pop up in interviews.
You mean the ones designed to reveal your personality, values, and how you handle situations?
Exactly. They're not looking for a right or wrong answer, but rather how you think on your feet, how you problem solve, and how you align with the company culture.
Those can be tough because there's no clear-cut answer.
It's easy to get flustered or overthink things.
But with some preparation, you can turn these questions into opportunities to showcase your strengths and make a memorable impression.
So what's the key to acing these behavioral questions?
Storytelling. Think of it like weaving a narrative that highlights your skills, experiences, and values, and the best stories are always rooted in real-life examples.
The guide emphasizes the STAR method for answering these questions.
Yes. Situation, task, action, result. A classic framework.
It helps you structure your answers in a clear, concise, and compelling way.
So start by setting the scene, describe the situation, then explain the task or challenge you faced.
Next, detail the actions you took. And finally, share the results, what happened because of your actions.
It's simple but effective.
The interview guide gives a great example using the STAR method to answer, Tell me about a time he had to make a difficult decision.
Oh, I remember that one. It featured a candidate working as a casino supervisor who noticed a group of players appearing intoxicated.
Tricky situation. You don't want to falsely accuse anyone.
But the candidate nailed the STAR method. They described the situation, observing the players, noticing those signs of intoxication.
Then they explain the task, determining if they were indeed intoxicated and what actions to take.
They detailed their actions, approaching the players discreetly, engaging in conversation, offering them water or a break.
And finally, the results. The players calmed down, thanked them for their concern, and left the casino on their own.
It's a great example of navigating a sensitive situation with tact and professionalism,
It shows they're not just concerned about profits, but also the well-being of the players.
a quality any good casino pit boss should possess.
Now, think about your own experiences. What challenging situations have you faced in your career, and how did you handle them?
What stories can you share?
What other behavioral questions might come up?
Well, they might ask you to tell me about a time you had to deal with a conflict between two employees.
Or describe a situation where you went above and beyond for a customer.
Or give me an example of a time you took initiative and implemented a new idea.
All great examples designed to reveal your personality, work ethic, and leadership style.
And remember, there's no single right answer. Be authentic, tell your story in a clear and engaging way, and demonstrate how your experiences have prepared you for the role.
Okay, so we've talked about the technical skills, the behavioral aspects, but there's one more crucial element we need to discuss.
What's that?
Your mindset.
Ah, yes. It's not just what you know, it's how you approach the interview, your confidence level, your ability to project that positive and professional image.
It's like you're not just applying for a job, you're selling yourself as the best candidate.
Exactly. And like any good salesperson, you need to believe in your product.
In this case, the product is you. So how do you cultivate that winning mindset going into a casino pit boss interview?
Preparation is key. The more prepared you are, the more confident you'll feel.
Research the company, practice your answers, use RoleCatcher's AI to fine-tune your resume and cover letter.
But it's also about getting into the right headspace.
What do you mean?
Visualize yourself succeeding. Imagine walking into that room, shaking hands, answering those questions with poise, leaving a lasting impression.
It's like sports psychology, getting your head in the game before stepping onto the field.
Absolutely. You need to train your mind to be focused, resilient, and positive.
So how do you do that? Any tips?
Well, one thing you can do is reframe nervousness as excitement.
Instead of thinking, I'm so nervous, tell yourself, I'm excited about this opportunity.
Shifting your perspective from fear to anticipation can make a huge difference.
That's a great tip.
Another helpful technique is positive self-talk.
Instead of focusing on weaknesses, you focus on your strengths and accomplishments.
Exactly. So instead of thinking, I'm not good at public speaking, tell yourself, I'm a clear and concise communicator with valuable experience to share.
I like that. It's about highlighting those positive attributes.
And don't be afraid to use affirmations. Tell yourself, I am capable, I am worthy, I am prepared.
Might sound cheesy, but it can really help shift your mindset.
When you believe in yourself, others are more likely to believe in you too.
It's all about projecting that confidence and letting your passion for the casino world shine through.
And remember, even if you don't get this particular job, every interview is a learning experience.
Take the time to reflect. What went well, what you could improve, and how you can apply those lessons to future interviews.
And don't give up on your dream of becoming a casino pit boss. With the right preparation, mindset, and resources like RoleCatcher, you can make it happen.
It really sounds like finding the right cultural fit is almost as crucial as having the skills for this job.
It's huge. You could be amazing at what you do, a total pro, but if you're in the wrong environment,
It's just not going to work.
yeah, you won't be as effective, your strengths won't shine through.
It'd be like being a card shark stuck playing Go Fish. Your talents are wasted.
Exactly. You got to find that casino where they value what you bring to the table, where the atmosphere motivates you.
Because what motivates one person might not do it for another.
Right. Some people thrive in those high-energy, super fast-paced settings.
While others prefer a more relaxed, customer-focused vibe.
Some love the glitz and glamour, the sound of those chips stacking up.
Others might want that resort feel, more laid back.
It all comes down to personal preference. There's no right or wrong answer.
It's about knowing yourself and finding a casino that matches what you're looking for.
What does a great gaming experience look like to you?
So how do you even figure out what kind of casino culture is right for you?
Research, 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 check out their websites, read reviews, talk to people who worked in the industry.
Get the inside scoop.
The interview guide also talks about paying attention during the interview itself.
What do you mean?
Little details can reveal a lot about a casino's culture.
Like what kind of details?
The way the interviewer talks to you, what questions they ask, the overall tone.
It's like reading between the lines, right?
Exactly. Are they all business, or do they value a more fun, team-oriented atmosphere?
Do they emphasize customer service? Or are they all about efficiency and profits?
Those subtle cues can tell you a lot about what it's like to actually work there.
So it's a two-way street. You're not just trying to impress them. You're also trying to see if they're a good fit for you.
Exactly. It's about finding that perfect match, a place where you can build a career, not just have a job.
As we wrap up this deep dive into the world of casino pit boss interviews, what are some of those key takeaways for our listeners?
Preparation is everything. Use all the resources at your disposal, like RoleCatcher's AI features.
Yeah, those tools are game changers.
Research the role, practice those answers, tailor your application to each specific casino you're applying to.
Don't forget to showcase those core skills: leadership, communication, problem solving.
That ability to think on your feet and make quick decisions under pressure.
And remember, it's not just what you know, it's how you present yourself.
Confidence, enthusiasm, genuine passion for the casino world, let that shine through.
But also, remember what we talked about, finding that right fit.
What kind of casino culture clicks with you? One that aligns with your values.
Where do you see yourself thriving?
Most importantly, let your personality shine through. Be yourself.
Because at the end of the day, the best casino pit boss is someone who's not only skilled and knowledgeable,
but someone who genuinely loves the game.
To all our aspiring pit bosses out there, best of luck with those interviews.
Remember, the casino world is full of excitement and opportunity. Go out there and make your mark.
And that's a wrap for this deep dive into the exciting world of casino pit bosses. We hope you feel prepped and ready to tackle those interviews.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep aiming for those jackpots.
Until next time.